Hey everyone, it's Kelly. I am back today with a new process video for the April 2019 Altenew Stamps Dies and Paper Pack release. This is one of two layouts that I created for this blog hop, so I'll make sure to link to my blog in the description box below if you happen to be watching this on my YouTube channel. And for my first layout, I'm going to be using this Alluring Blooms 6x6 paper pack. This is part of the new release. I'm also going to be using this die, which is not part of the new release. It's just a die that I have in my stash, and it is a die from Altenew also. It is the Fine Frames die. So I'm going to start out by using this pattern paper that you see here on the screen that is included in that Alluring Blooms paper pack. And I'm going to use my manual die cutting machine to cut circles from this pattern paper. And I actually cut way more than I need. I wasn't sure which colors I was going to use. So I went ahead and cut that die 4 times. I'm really showing you here this one on camera, and then I'll do the rest off camera. My original idea for the design of this layout is something similar to what you're seeing here. I was going to place these circles in a diagonal starting on the upper left-hand side of the layout, and I thought that I was going to use these 3 pictures, but I end up changing a little bit later on in the video. So I thought that I was going to place those circles in a diagonal, and then I had already fussy cut some of these floral images from a few other pattern papers that are included in that same paper pack. And I thought I was just going to nestle these flowers right up against those circles, but it wasn't quite working out the way that I was wanting it to. So this layout really takes a dramatic turn from what I initially thought it was going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more fussy cutting here, and I'm still just trying to get a feel and an idea for the design. I really wasn't sure where it was going since my initial idea didn't quite work out the way that I was envisioning it in my mind. So a lot of this beginning part of the video is going to be me just playing around trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to do. I thought about maybe just using 1 photo instead of the 3, and those pictures are of my son, and they were taken back in 2009. So he was just a year old in these pictures, and oh my goodness, my heart, it was just I can't get over how fast time has went. I know I've talked about that in my videos before, but it's just amazing to me. It does not seem like that should be that long ago. But he was taking his first ride in the wagon at my parents' house, and it was springtime, and you can just see the joy on his face. And I just absolutely love these photos. They don't end up making it, like I said, onto this layout, but I do scrapbook them on a different layout that you'll be seeing a little bit later on this month. So I'm still working on fussy cutting. I'm just really trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to do here. And these floral images in this paper pack, oh my goodness, they are gorgeous. I absolutely love the color combinations. I'm not sure who the artist is at Altenew who makes these, but whoever it is, they do an amazing job. They could be framed and put on the wall. They are that gorgeous. So here is when the design starts to come together. This is kind of where it's going to go. I decided to use a lot fewer circles, and I decided to pull the florals closer together more in the center of the layout. So the more I'm working here and the more I'm looking at this design and the colors and those florals, I was really getting a tropical vibe. So this is when I'm starting to think about maybe swapping the photos for something that will kind of go along that theme a little bit more. So I was thinking as I was fussy cutting, and I do decide a little bit later on, which I'll show you the photo, to switch to a photo that was taken on a cruise that my husband and I went on in 2012. So this is going to be how things are going to come together. I decided to rotate the layout, and I'm going to start working on adhering the floral cluster together just so that way I can move it on and off the layout as one unit. So here's where I'm bringing in the new photo, and it's a little hard to see with my studio lights on, but it is a photo of me and my husband, and we are standing on the beach at Cococay, and we went with a large group of people when we took our cruise. I think there were 15 or 18 of us when we went on the cruise. Maybe there were 13 of us. It was a big number. We had a large group. And it was really nice, especially as a scrapbooker, because there was somebody there to take our photo. So it was a lot of fun, and I have a lot of pictures of us together while we were on that cruise. So I haven't really done a whole lot of scrapbooking from that cruise, and I'm not really sure why. I think that it was such a fun vacation that I feel like I really need to be able to document it in a very special way. So I've done very few pages, and I need to be better about that. I need to get those in my albums. So a couple of the florals that I fussy cut from that Alluring Blooms paper pack are this really pretty orange color. So I decided that I wanted to add a little bit more of that to the layout. So I grabbed some watercolors from my stash. These are the Prima Pastel Dreams watercolor set, and I'm just mixing a few colors together along with some shimmers from my stash to create that orange color, and I'm just adding it to the upper right and the lower left hand side of the layout. I just want it peeking out from behind those floral images, so you'll see that I bring those floral images back and forth on and off the layout. That's what I was talking about when I adhered them together. That way I didn't have to place each individual flower back on the layout every time I wanted to bring this back over to check to see if I had enough coverage with the mixed media. I really like how this orange looks on the layout. I feel like it really adds a lot of interest and just another pop of color, which I absolutely love. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to start bringing in my title, and it's going to be very generic. It's just going to be where we were. We were at Cococay, and I'm going to put the year. And these alpha stickers are from Altenew also. These are from the Live Your Dream scrapbook collection, I believe. I will put a link to them in the description box below, and there'll also be a link in the blog post. I'm going to go ahead and adhere down that floral cluster and get those remaining circles adhered down to the background now that it is all finished. I didn't really want to add a whole lot of embellishing. I really wanted the focus to be on those gorgeous papers, but I felt like I needed to add a little something more. So I grabbed these wood buttons from the Live Your Dream scrapbook collection by Altenew, and I'm just going to add a few of those to the background. And then I'm also going to add a few enamel dots. These enamel dots are from the Our Family scrapbook collection from Altenew, and I'm going to use that green color. It matches those green leaves that I have on the background, and I really like how that looks. It's another pop of color and a little bit more dimension, a little bit more texture, so I really like how that looks. Now, because I did use gesso on the background, I am using liquid adhesive for all of those things, so that way they don't want to fall off. I found that when you use gesso, especially the clear gesso, things don't like to stick for very well or for very long, so I, just to be safe, wanted to add a little bit of liquid adhesive. My photo does have a white border, but I wanted to add a little bit more separation from the photo and the background. So I decided to go ahead and add some tissue paper there, and I am going to add some fun foam behind the photo just to elevate it off the layout a little bit more. And then I'm going to adhere that photo right in the center of that floral cluster. I decided to go ahead and add some black splatters also, since my title has those black letters. So I'm just using some Heidi Swapp black color shine, and I'm just gonna splatter that on the background. And you may have noticed that it splattered right onto the tissue paper and my photo. The photo isn't a big deal because I use a Canon selfie to print my photos, and they are waterproof, so you can just wipe it right off. But I did replace the tissue paper because it had a huge black smudge right at the top. So I'm just holding the layout a little bit closer to the camera so you can see it in a little bit more detail. Look how gorgeous those florals are. They are just absolutely beautiful. And I just love the pops of color. I just love the texture that's in those florals. They look painted. They're absolutely gorgeous. So here are the still shots of my layout. I really do want to encourage you to head to my blog if you are watching this video on YouTube, so you can participate in the blog hop by hopping from blog to blog, and you can also have a couple chances for a couple gift certificates to the Altenew store. So head to my blog, see how you can enter those giveaways, and I will be back again soon with a new layout and process video. Thank you so much for watching.